Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My dear brothers, if I can request you to come forward and make fill in the spaces so that inshallah we get losses of barakah. I'd like to request the brothers at the back who are standing, if they come forward. Inshallah, we're going to start our program. As you will know, Brother Shaheed, okay, he's obviously told you in terms of what we're here to talk about and remember, and obviously ask Allah for His forgiveness for all the things that we have done, all the mistakes that we've made, and we pray for Shaykh Fahim. Allah give him forgiveness. Allah make obviously the question and answers easy, his grave, Allah widen it, inshallah. And Allah bless his ruh in Illiyin, in peace and in tranquility. Those of us who saw him at the mosque, I mean, subhanAllah, what an amazing face. He was smiling as if he was just resting, inshallah. So we will, inshallah, remember some of the things that obviously he did. But before I go into that, I want to request my brother Zoinu Abedin. Where is he? Okay, inshallah. All right. Brother Mahbub, please come to the front. I'd like to request Shabir Ahmad Kausar about you to come to the front. Sure. Whilst we wait, inshallah, let's pray some durood. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammad. كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد أستغفر الله أستغفر الله أستغفر الله إن الله غفور رحيم أستغفر الله أستغفر الله أستغفر الله إن الله غفور رحيم. My dear brothers and sisters, those who are listening, obviously this is a time of learning ibrah. Allah says in the Quran that we tell you these stories of Musa and Harun, of Ibrahim and Ismail, of Ibrahim and Namrud. And we tell you all these things and stories so that you can take ibrah. And when you understand the lesson, hopefully, inshallah, the abra, the tears will come through, inshallah. That is the reason why I've gathered here, so that we can learn some lessons from the life of late Shaykh Fahim. He's my brother. He's my teacher, he's my mentor. I've known him from the age of 13 for nearly 40 years. And obviously, in front of me, he became a sheikh. And then obviously, he did all of those things. And how wonderful that obviously he's able to do all of these things in such a small period of time. The barakah that Allah has endowed. And we have to now ask ourselves, because he's done whatever he needed to do. It's what we do now from going forward and how much of a difference we can make so that inshallah that lesson then becomes obviously an ibrah, and that ibrah then follows with tears that we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla, Allah give us the tawfiq to be able to do what he did and really what Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came to do. Anybody who's parked in double yellow line, before you get a ticket, go and move it, and then you can donate £65 to the mosque, inshallah. Okay? Darul Ummah has been a heart, okay, for the Shaykh himself. Just before he passed, he asked one of our brothers, he said, can you take a picture, go and take a picture of Darul Ummah and show me. And Saleh, he said, no, I can't go there, it's not going to be possible. He said, look out the window, take a picture and show me. That's how much he loved this place. It was in his blood to be able to actually do everything for Darul Ummah and for this organization and for all of the things that's obviously the space and Jamatul Ummah and everything that we enjoy. So without any further ado, I want to hand you over to my brother Zoinu. Before that, I'm going to call his son Anam to come and recite inshallah from the Quran. Oh, inshallah. You're going to sit where your father used to sit and recite.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا وهو العزيز الغفور الذي خلق 7 سماوات طباقا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجع البصر هل ترى من فطور ثم ارجع البصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير ولقد زينا السماء الدنيا بمصابيح وجعلناها رجوما للشياطين وأعتدنا لهم عذاب السعير وللذين كفروا بربهم عذاب جهنم وبئس المصير إذا ألقوا فيها سمعوا لها شهيقا وهي تفور تكاد تميز من الغيظ كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير قالوا بلى قد جاءنا نذير فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء إن أنتم إلا في ضلال كبير وقالوا لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير فاعترفوا بذنبهم فسحقا لأصحاب السعير إن الذين يخشون ربهم بالغيب لهم مغفرة وأجر كبير وأسروا قولكم أو اجهروا به إنه عليم بذات الصدور ألا يعلم من خلق وهو اللطيف الخبير هو الذي جعل لكم الأرض ذلولا فامشوا في مناكبها وكلوا من رزقه وإليه النشور أأمنتم من في السماء أن يخسف بكم الأرض فإذا هي تمور أم أمنتم من في السماء أن يرسل عليكم حاصبا فستعلمون كيف نذير ولقد كذب الذين من قبلهم فكيف كان نكير أولم يروا إلى الطير فوقهم صافات ويقبضن ما يمسكهن إلا الرحمن إنه بكل شيء بصير أمن هذا الذي هو جند لكم ينصركم من دون الرحمن إن الكافرون إلا في غرور أمن هذا الذي يرزقكم إن أمسك رزقه بل لجوا في عتو ونفور أفمن يمشي مكبا على وجهه أهدى أمن يمشي سويا على صراط مستقيم قل هو الذي أنشأكم وجعل لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون قل هو الذي ذرأكم في الأرض وإليه تحشرون ويقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين قل إنما العلم عند الله وإنما أنا نذير مبين فلما رأوه زلفة سيئت وجوه الذين كفروا وقيل هذا الذي كنتم به تدعون قل أرأيتم إن أهلكني الله ومن معي أو رحمنا فمن يجير الكافرين من عذاب أليم قل هو الرحمن آمنا به وعليه توكلنا فستعلمون من هو في ضلال مبين قل أرأيتم إن أصبح ماؤكم غورا فمن يأتيكم بماء معين صدق الله العظيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد اللهم صل على نبينا محمد. It's a big crowd and I'm a bit nervous, but I want to start off with a speech / nasiha that my dad used to give to me very often. And if you knew him very well, he would give this speech nasiha to you as well very often. And it can be summed down to 2 words: truthfulness and justice. The Quranic ayah is وَتَمَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ صِدْقًا وَعَدْلًا. Sidq and adl. My dad used to say that these were like your 2 wings in life. That if you had these 2 qualities, you could go far in life. You could be a great Muslim. You could go to Jannah. The first quality, sidq, truthfulness, honesty. And if you want to go a step further than that, transparency. To be transparent like the Prophet, that people, there's nothing deceptive at all about you. The other one, adl, justice. To seek justice in everything, to be a just person, to fight for justice, to fight against wrongdoings. And Arabic is very, very intricate. Adl can be explained in a different way. Adl can be explained as being a middle path between extremities and negligence. You know, being too involved in something and not being involved at all. And in the Western world, we need to be people of adl, people of justice, people of the middle way. That we're not too extreme and that we're not too negligent. So those 2 qualities, I want us all to try take from my father: sidq and adl, truthfulness and justice. And inshallah, we will all be people, great Muslims and people that will end up in heaven.
Jazakallah, mashallah. Adam, see, there's a reason sometimes Allah has a better plan for us. And inshallah, you need to take your father's place. Just inshallah. Just like today, in this big crowd, you don't often get this opportunity. And actually, I didn't tell Adam that he was going to speak. So he was just recite. And sometimes if you put people on the spot, then the best comes out of them. So Jazakumullah khair for sharing that wisdom. And of course, so I'll start. My name is Zainul Abidin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's program has been specially done on behalf of the family and friends. So friends and family will be given priority to come and speak from the front. And so if you could bear with me on that, it might be difficult to accommodate everyone who wants to speak, but I just wanted to say that from the outset. So all of us in various shapes or form would know Shaykh Fahim in various capacity. You may have interacted as a student, as a mentor, advised you, or whatever shape or form, or you may have seen him on TV, or you may have read something on social media. But sometimes you may not know everything about him. So I'll just say what he did in brief in terms of as a bio, if you want to call that. Shaykh Fahim was a fellow of the Higher Education Academy. He graduated with a master's in teaching and learning and a bachelor's degree in BA Honours in Business Studies and Marketing from London. So you may not have known that he's got a master's as well as a degree from universities in this country. He also completed a diploma in Arabic language and a bachelor's degree in Usul ad-Din and Usul al-Fiqh from the Institute of European Sciences and Humanities in France. And after he did all that, he came back and formed Beacon Institute, where he was teaching people the Quran and the Tajweed. And then he created Gift Foundation. Through Gift Foundation, there was various projects from Muslim Family Matters, Oak Education. And through those charity work, he did lots of things in Ghana, in Bangladesh, in various charity work in all over the world. So that's just a brief in terms of what he's done. And then we'll ask some close friends to come up and say about him. There'll be other people from the family that will come up. So I'm going to ask first speaker opening for our own brother Shabir Ahmad Kausa, who was a very good friend of Fahimul Anam, to say a few words. And then the first part, Migdad will be presenting Shaykh Fahim's nephew and calling up family members. Jazakumullah khair.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. We are here to remember our dear brother, friend of over 40 years, Shaykh Fahimul Anam. I mean, every single one of us here, somewhere connected with our dear brother Fahim. I mean, everyone, if we have opportunity, we can spend day and nights about sharing his stories. Fahim Bhai is one of those unique person, whoever met him, they will be friend for his or their lives. Whoever met, I mean, from young to old, there is no end. He has, I mean, if you see the people attended in his funeral prayer, this is enough to judge. With this poor weather, difficulties, people flown from Qatar, from France, from Morocco, almost every cities of this country. I know one of my close relatives and friend, Maulana Abdul Malik Bhai, he came from Manchester, leaving behind his close niece's wedding. He said he could not sleep, he could not stay behind, he left behind everything. Yesterday we saw a clip from Sheikh Jamal Nasir. He never knew Sheikh Fahim. The way he described, it is amazingly inspiring. I mean, every single one of us, those who lived with Fahim Bhai, they know Fahim Bhai has been blessed with one of those great, I mean, families. He was young in his siblings. He was not the youngest, but he was in between. Even when he was young, like teenagers, he was so matured. I don't know how Allah has blessed him. He arranged all his older sisters' wedding, including his older brother, when he was a school student. So Allah has made him really as a born, matured person, leader. And as soon as I knew him, I used to begin, when we were young, we didn't have a mobile. When he used to call his home number, I used to call Sasa, the Shabir phone Horsi. So he used to say to Fahim Bhai, Shabir Sasa phone do. That was the language he used to do in a humorous way. So that's Fahim Bhai's been blessed with really great families. Fahim Bhai's many qualities are there. We know in here we have other brothers, they will be sharing. I'll go just briefly. He's got this farasa. He can see 4 or 5 steps in any difficult situation. He's one of those great planner. For any events, anything, he can go 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 steps ahead of us. So big events, and one of those example I could say, even like when Darul was purchased, so we needed to raise funds. So he would spend whole day the planning, who to ask for what. He will make a plan, a team like projection, core team, then the next team, then the next team, then the next team, eventually so that it become 500,000. So he start with 5 people, then this 5 will another 5 and 5. It's almost tree diagram. Then the night time after Taraweeh prayers, we'll gather together, he'll find what is the update, who has contacted whom. Then after that, everyone will be sleeping. You can hear somebody's crying. When you're outside, you won't find him. Then usually one night we have traced him to the roof. He's asking Allah to help. So he knew who to ask. So Fahim Bhai is one of those qualities, not just the planning, not just organizing. He has genuinely trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he all the works, and then he would go for ask for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is amazingly hardworking. He doesn't need sleep. Obviously, people have to sleep. Midnight, early hours, whenever you want him, you will find him, working. And we say, many others from his action, we say he's a visionary leader. Many people have done so many other things. They would do job, they would do just course, whatever. But Fahim Bhai has touched every single aspect of people needs. Education, knowledge, wisdom, preparing people, recruiting people. He will headhunt. Even his friends, quite a lot of his friends are scholars like him, but they are not organizers. So he will find space for them, create platform for them. They are great shuyukh, but find platform for them to contribute. Last point I would say, he is to serve people. He was genuinely a servant leader. He would serve everybody. If you touch him, if you have any problem, financial, spiritual, family, you can name anything. Fahim Bhai was so resourceful. Allah has blessed him with this resource from somewhere, Allah Alam. But he's never, ever short of anything. So we just remember with this, we'll hear from others. So Fahim Bhai has been blessed with this. And we can see the witness, every single one of us connected. And again, from Da'watul Islam, we learn for anything we do, it's a dawah, you do invite people, live by Islam, practice and convey this. But Fahim Bhai's unique way of conveying the message, he would recruit people, not just himself, so he will exponentially increase his sadaqah jariyah. And even in 90s, when we were college students, that time we were discussing in the details about manhaj of organization, mission, vision, everything. In 1 week or so, we studied in there under great scholars of the Islam. We planned for 50 years how to make this country as a Muslim country, or even to make the Islam victorious in this country. And even his handwritten flip charts, A4, A5, A3, A1, still exists, handwriting. I have the photocopy. I'm sure he's got the original in his drawer somewhere. Finally, we say, because one of those verses says, Allah is with those who have taqwa and those who good deeds. And we are sure Fahim Bhai's amal is always shown many signs. that he has had taqwa, God-fearing, and he was doing constantly good deeds. And his projects, as John Ulbe mentioned, highlight that is amazing. Again, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive him, give him Jannatul Firdaus, and we also ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to honor and give patience to Hanifa. She is a blessed lady. Allah has blessed him with great wife. She is also hardworking. She has been supporting him throughout. Even last seconds when he was with this poor health, he wanted to go to Bangladesh to see off his family and others. She supported him. He wanted to go to Umrah just before his health condition got worse. And she supported him. And he was unwell with the stomach cancer. And we are sure by the Prophet hadith, if someone dies this way, he's a shaheed. So we also ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept him as a shaheed, inshallah. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. جزاكم الله خيرا to all of you first and foremost for attending and giving up your time, and also for all of your well wishes and your du'as and all of your efforts throughout. As Uncle Zonal mentioned, my name is Miqdad Anam. I am Shaykh Fahim's nephew. I'm his older brother's eldest son. And wallahi, it's an honor for me to be able to stand up in front of you here today to present his achievements, present his life, and for all of you to hear about such a, like how much of an amazing man he was. Our uncle, so I was just going to say that to all of you he was either Shaykh Fahim or Fahim Bhai, but to us he was our chachu. To us, to my fellow cousins, he was our mezo mama. And before we go on to some of the contributions from our mashayikh and other respected individuals to talk about his community achievements and stuff like that, I wanted to mention a few things about family, about how he looked after his family. The reason why I'm able to be up here speaking to you today is because of my chachu, because of our uncle. From a young age, he gathered all of his nephews and nieces and his sons and daughters together and kept us together throughout. I remember 10, 12, 13 years ago, he would organize meetings with us. He created like a board of directors for us when we were like 7, 8, 9 years old. Yeah? And he would make us organize projects and conferences. And he did that throughout his life and throughout our sort of upbringing. This was a constant theme right up until the very end. 2 weeks before he was admitted into hospital, we sat with him together, all of us, the nieces and the nephews, and we ate with him and we had a long discussion with him. And part of those discussions was about da'wah, was about purpose, was about what we want to achieve. And it was also about family. He was telling us that find your best friend in the family. Make sure that you're close together as a family. Make sure that you guys are a tight-knit unit so that you can find your people in your family. You can find the people whom you are most closest to in the family. And our uncle Shabir Jazakallahu Khairan, he mentioned beautiful words. He mentioned that our uncle Shaykh Fahim, he remembers that he has his flip charts and there's a lot of writing. In that final gathering, he showed us the original copies. He showed us the original copies of all of the details and the plans and the strategy that they formulated all those years ago when funding this masjid. So, wallahi, it's a true honor for me to be here, to stand here in front of you, to present his achievements, his sort of contributions to this community. And we saw on Sunday at the janazah, we saw the amount of people that turned up, subhanallah. May Allah make this a proof for him. May Allah make this a witness for him that he was, inshallah, he was sincere in his actions and his efforts. So without further ado, I want to